Am I the a-hole for wearing scrubs even though I'm not a nurse? 5 years ago, when I was in high school, I got a job as a kennel technician at a pet store. When I got the job, I was told to go get a few pairs of scrubs, and that I need to wear scrubs to work every day. I helped people out around the store just like all of the other employees, but my main job was to help the vet take care of the puppies. Obviously, the vet did the heavy lifting and I was just there to assist. I don't know for sure why I was required to wear scrubs when the most medical thing I did was give the dogs their medicine, and I'm pretty sure it was just so the kennel techs looked professional. The owner was a bit pretentious and was always concerned with appearing professional. 3 years ago when I started college, I had to quit my job at the pet store. I was determined to pay my way through college and not take out any student loans, and as much as I loved the job, it did not pay very well. When I quit, I got rid of all of the shirt scrubs, but I kept the pants because as it turns out, nurses have been holding out on us, and scrubs are really comfortable. I treat them like sweatpants. They are comfortable and just something for me to wear around the house on my day off, but I would never go out in public wearing them. Fast forward to 2 days ago, when I went out to go check the mail while wearing some of my old scrubs without thinking about it. Our neighbor who lives in front of the mailboxes was out watering her garden and she perked up when she saw me. She got all excited and told me about how her daughter was a nurse, and how she knew I was in college but she didn't know I was going to college to be a nurse. So I of course cut her off and said, "Oh, I'm actually in college getting a degree in history," and I go on to explain why I had the scrubs and all that. To say she was mad about me wearing scrubs would be an understatement. She compared it to stolen valor, when people dress up like veterans and first responders when they aren't. She went on and on about how hard her daughter worked to become a nurse, and that nurses have earned the right to wear scrubs. I was honestly a little baffled, because I wasn't trying to pretend to be a nurse, and now, one of my neighbors who I barely know is lecturing me in the middle of our neighborhood. She posted on Facebook that afternoon that she saw someone out in public wearing scrubs, and that when she talked to them it turned out they weren't even a nurse. It was very clear that she was talking about me, but I do appreciate that she said it was a stranger at a grocery store since she is friends with a lot of the people in our neighborhood. I didn't even consider that I could be in the wrong until I saw how everyone who was commenting on her post was agreeing with her. Am I the a-hole for having my nephew move in with me after he was disowned? My kids are angry with me. I, M50s, have 2 kids, Jamie, M24, and Mia, F22, their mother being my ex-wife, Sarah, F50s. Our marriage fell apart when Mia was still in diapers. Sarah was having an affair with my younger brother and she became pregnant with my nephew, Caleb, M20. Sarah and my brother ended up getting together, although eventually my brother abandoned them and packed his bags and moved to another state when Caleb was around 2 and to this day never sees his son. We had shared custody of Jamie and Mia, but they gradually chose to spend more and more time at my home when they became teenagers, as they felt that their mom liked Caleb better than them. Since lockdown, Sarah has changed a lot as a person. She rededicated her life to Christ and joined a very cult-like online church. Recently, someone from his college outed Caleb as gay and Sarah has disowned him as her son, and ever so graciously gave him a week to get out of her house, sarcasm of course. I reached out to Caleb and told him that he is welcome to stay with me for free so that he can finish college. There's no way I can watch a family member become homeless without trying to help them. After some talking things out he moved in, and I had him take Jamie's old bedroom. My kids haven't lived at home in a while now so I have the space, and it's actually quite nice to have Caleb's company. The problem is that Jamie and Mia are both extremely upset with me for letting Caleb move in, considering their history with him and Sarah showing him favoritism. They say that there are other family members who could have taken him in. My parents offered but they do live in another country, and that I should have asked them beforehand to consider their feelings. Jamie now even refuses to let me see my infant granddaughter until I get Caleb to leave. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I'm not interested as her hosting my bridal shower? A little backstory. We grew up in a pretty toxic family fueled by our parents' addictions. I always felt like the forgotten child out of the 5 daughters they had. My mother even surrendered all custody of me, not my sisters, when I was 12. When I was 16 I thought I was in love with my BF 18 meters. We had our first child when I was 17, married at 19 and twins at 20. It was toxic relationship on both sides. We eventually went through a rough divorce when I was 30. We both got help for our trauma/issues and now have a great co-parenting relationship. I have been in an amazing relationship with my fiancé for 5.5 years and he recently proposed. Every time I talk to my oldest sister about the wedding, she mentions it's not my first wedding. She has said things like I shouldn't wear white, it should be small, I should tell everyone not to get her gifts because that's the tradition. It is my fiancé's first wedding. She called me to tell me that she was assigned to throw a bridal shower but didn't think it was appropriate since I had been married before. I am well aware this is not my first wedding and don't need reminded every time she asks me about the wedding. I informed her I wasn't interested in her throwing a bridal shower and that my bridal party would be doing it instead. She would be welcome to attend, but I don't want anyone to feel obligated to celebrate the upcoming wedding. Now she thinks I am being dramatic and twisting her words. She stated she thought it was funny that she was assigned and wanted to make sure I actually wanted a shower. She also mentioned again to tell the bridal party to make sure and put on the invitation not to bring gifts since I'm already established. I honestly don't care if people bring gifts or not, but why is she pushing this? I told her I wasn't interested in arguing or talking farther on this topic. My fiancé is the baby of his family and they weren't sure he'd ever get married since he is 40. They want to celebrate all the traditional wedding things for us. His family is great and have accepted the kids and I from the beginning. I want him to have that experience as well. Should it matter that I had been married before? Am I the a-hole for not giving up my Christmas annual leave so my co-worker can spend some time with her kids? This boss said there's one gap left for annual leave on Christmas and they've been saving it for me. According to him, any new employees once they've passed the probation period will get the first Christmas off. Here's the thing, I don't care if I work Christmas or not and I'll be on my own this Christmas as I don't celebrate it. 2 days later, this was 3 days ago, I had a colleague come up to me and she was talking about annual leave and asked if I would consider switching and my response was no. She then started going on about how she has kids and what I would be doing this Christmas and I just said no. She seemed moody and walked away. Later that night I got home and my nephew video called me from his mom's phone. When she got the phone we caught up. Here's the thing though. Before my sister gave birth to her son this happened and was in complete agreement with me in her previous workplace. I brought this up with my sister. My sister said I'm being a bit selfish as I'm child-free and she has kids. She's working and I'm not, which means she won't be able to see her kids for long on Christmas Day. She also brought up the fact I'm not bothering to come up and see family this Christmas and will be spending 3 of the days phone-free so I won't be communicating with anyone. Am I the a-hole pretending another girl was my girlfriend? I 25M was out with my girlfriend 25F and some other friends. We were drinking and having a good time. I smoked trying to quit, and went outside alone for a smoke. I was standing in front of the bar kind of a short walk away. I don't like standing right in front of the door because the smoke gets into the bar or establishment. This frantic-looking woman is walking at normal pace and there is a guy a couple of feet behind her. She walks to me and says, "Hey, baby, I'm glad you're waiting where you said you would." I was confused at first but I quickly understood the situation. This guy was weird and on the way up he was muttering weird things like "just give me your number, you're so pretty, I just want to talk to you," etc. When I told someone else this story I was asked why I didn't react when I saw her walking and heard that. And the answer is it all happened very fast and I had been drinking. Once I put it together I said, "Hey, honey, been waiting for you." And she put her arm around me and it took longer than I would have liked for the guy to leave. I was being gentle saying "alright, goodbye buddy and we've gotta get back home." Eventually the guy left but not because she wanted him to leave, because I kept insisting. Nothing bad happened at all. My girlfriend had been watching from the window and must have only caught the end part of it and saw the other girl with her arm around me. My girlfriend is not the type to cause a public scene. She'll wait until a private time to air her grievances. The girl had no money for an Uber and was planning on walking home but felt too nervous. So I arranged for an Uber to pick her up and waited outside with her until the car came. Jumping ahead to when I was home with my girlfriend. She asked me what was that all about? And wanted to know why her arm was around me and why I stayed after the creep left. She put together that the guy was being weird but she said I shouldn't have let her put her arm around me. Even though after the guy left she removed it. None of my explanations were working so I just turned it to her and said, "What would you have wanted me to do? And if you were here, what would you have wanted the guy to do?" She just couldn't answer and said to stop flipping it.